We're gonna take this opportunity here for those of you who are unaware of kind of who I am and who we are. My name's TitoKMF. Go ahead and you're here on this channel for some reason. Go just Google me. You'll see all my music and shit. I'm at that point now. So that's cool. We'll go in order, I guess. Chris, plug your shit.
Hi everybody, my name is Chris. You can find me over on Twitter at NeverNotChris, and Twitch at twitch.tv/it's Chris. I play a lot of bullshit. You've probably heard me around in different streams, probably even here as well. And if you have heard of me, you're probably telling me to shut up in the chat, but if not, hi, how are you?
Perfect. Let's do Tanuki. Plug your shit.
It's poppin'. You already know what it is. Your boy Tanooks. I'm out here. I rap sometimes. You can catch me on Twitter at Tanooks_. I don't stream as consistently as I want, but it's the same name for Twitch. Just dropped Enterprise Side A pretty recently. Side B.
Yeah. 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 Aloud.
Hello, everybody. My name's Aloud. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Aloud Creative. I also stream on Twitch sometimes. I do art, illustrate, design shit for some of the people here in this call. Pleasure to meet y'all.
Slurp.
Blurp. What's up? Your favorite side character, 420
Yeah.
You know, twitter.com/cheekslurper69, twitch.tv/cslurper, because we had to change it up to be family friendly. Because, you know, I'm a D1 esports athlete, you know.
It's
I gotta
true.
keep up appearances. It's true. Very true. You know, come on over, twitch.tv/cslurper. Play some League, play some Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, all that good shit.
And Mr. Prissy.
Got him.
Why did you do that in my ear?
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Shiny World. That's it.
All right, bet.
You already know who I am.
All right, buddy. All right, so that's fact actually. So here's what we're gonna do first, guys. We're gonna go ahead and set up the world here. We've already obviously talked before with all of our friends here about the world, but you guys don't know. We want to give you guys as much context as they have, and this is actually a little bit of context that they don't have because we're actually gonna get into the shits. Also, that was Toxicity, but a medieval style from System of a Down. That was crazy. That was insane. That was. Did you let me listen to this again?
I gotta turn it up.
This is going crazy. Hold on.
This is just an actual medieval song.
Oh, God.
This is actually just crazy. You think I can find a one-winged angel bard, like a bard theme? Like some bardcore?
I hate you.
Probably.
Not Bardcore.
Bardcore goes crazy, bro.
Is that my next venture, bro?
Please,
Make a
please
Bardcore
stop.
album?
Please stop.
Okay, but if I do it and it's fire, what's gonna happen?
I will still ask you to stop.
Oh, I bet.
Alright. So, let's go ahead and just, oh, nope, not that. Alright. So, we're gonna do a little bit of world building here. Go ahead and close that, and let's go ahead and go to this. Alright, gentlemen. Let us begin. Hey, don't make all that noise up there! Alright, anyway. Let us begin. So, this is... Jesus, they're making... This is... the world. Go ahead and make that as small as possible. You guys can see that?
Yes.
Perfect.
We see the street.
This is indeed the streets. So, we are now leaving planet Earth, thankfully.
Oh, God.
Right? And entering the world of of Dungeons and Dragons. In this particular world, there are only 2 major landmasses on the planet. One of them is the continent of Elysium, which is where we are. This is the area where all the people live, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And this, up here, up top, is what's known as the Air Plains. And this is your uninhabitable area due to harsh conditions, harsh weather, giant monsters. Not to say no one goes over there, but very few, if any, people actually live there.
I'm gonna handle that.
Oh God, we out.
So let us talk about, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit on the continent. I'll break down where everything is.
Okay.
So, make sure we go. All right, we're good. So, the continent is spread up into 6 what we call domains. These are kind of like countries, but there's no actual formal government because fuck that. Each of
Tito,
the
I don't want to interrupt you.
Yes. What's up?
However, at the same time, the stream can see this. We in the game cannot.
What?
We cannot see the map. We only like we're still stuck on the city streets of afternoon maps.
Oh, I mean, I'm just looking at his stream in Discord.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, wait. How is that possible? You guys see it now?
It has not changed.
Oh no, we are still in the streets. I was just looking at your Discord stream though.
I don't know why it's not looking.
I mean, either way, we have it open on.
Oh, you gotta move the players? Oh, okay. Move the red tab. Oh, true. No, you're right. That's my fault.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like,
Okay.
what the hell? Appreciate it. Appreciate you, chat. That's the kind of help that I want. All right. So anyway, so this is the world, okay? The planet goes by many names depending on the culture, but for our purposes, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The world is separated into 2 major land masses. You have the continent of inhabitable Elysium. It has a bunch of surrounding islands that don't really do shit, but they're there.
Okay.
And then you have the top, which is the Air Plains. So this area is basically where all the shits happen. They're like, yo, this is where all like the desert is and the coldest areas and lavas. It's like basically this is basically just the guiding lands, but like on crack up here for Monster Hunter.
Okay.
It's almost uninhabitable. Yes, people have lived here. Yes, people do live here currently, but 99.9% of the population lives on this continent in the middle of the ocean.
It's Antarctica, but hell.
Yeah, basically. So, the world, or the continent of Elysium, is broken up into 6 domains. Now, these domains are kind of like countries, but they're not countries because they don't really have governments, because fuck that. How do they coexist? Well, they coexist because each of them is a major export to help everybody survive. Okay? So let's break down what each of them do very briefly, and we'll learn more about this. And just for the players here, you all obviously live here, so you all know how the world works. So this is information. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because this is common information known to everybody in the world. So let's start with the largest landmass, which is the hunting domain known as Venari. This is where everyone gets all their schmeat. This is where all the wild game is hunted. This is where a majority of the animals are hunted, kept, sleep, hide. This is a pretty dangerous area, so it has the fewest amount of people, but they also export all of the meat to the rest of the continent. You will notice a lot of the times most of these guys do not have standing armies. Because they don't. The second largest landmass, and you guys feel free to stop me anytime if you have questions, and I'll tell you whether or not I can answer it. The second is Willem, which is the agriculture domain. Basically the same thing, but with plants. Okay?
Yeah, weed.
Sure. So this is where they grow all of the agriculture. Venari, which is very ridden with forests and mountain ranges. Villain is basically very, very plain driven. Very good for agriculture. They're right near the water. There's a bunch of rivers here. I didn't draw them, but whatever. They're there. It's very good. Vilum and Venari are never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, ever in any danger since the history of the world because of what they provide. No one has ever tried to take them over because they know that if anybody does it, we're all fucked. So these two guys are pretty much, they're good. They're good. They do have sovereign rulers who are basically just managers. They're like, can I speak to the manager? And they have one.
Okay.
The third one is Sanctus, which is the third largest. This is the religious domain. So this is the area where if these guys export food and water and all this shit, these guys export is religion. This is where all the religious.
Wait, where?
Here, yeah, Sanctus on the right. This is where all of the like the kind of like it's not one religion. It's not one religion that controls the whole thing. It's anybody who practices any religion sets up here. So think about like every country's religious capital is here. There's no and every religion has their own small militia or military, if it's a part of their religion. So there's no one ruler of this area, but they're all here. And why would this be a thing? Well, it's because every other area is completely secular. This is the only area in which religion has any power. So, then you have Mercanturum. That's a U. This is basically their export is business or trade. So then top left here, they are the money people, money. Okay, so they're in charge of trade for the entirety of the continent. Every little domain or every group, groups that we'll talk about in a minute, are sent here to negotiate, to trade, to set up businesses. All the businesses are here that are what we call non-essential. So like obviously every place has, like a food place, a clothes place, all this stuff. But this is where a majority of the weapons are built. This is where a majority of like the dyes, and like shit like that. It's all here, and that's where all the ports are. Almost the entirety of the rest of the continent, you can't really set up a port. This is the only place. Then you have Census in the top right, which is like so this is the trade domain. Census is the what's it called? What we would call the learning domain or the mind domain. This is where in the continent all of the learning, the universities, the magical training centers, the war training centers, the swordsmiths, everything like that is all on the top right. This is where kids are sent to learn magic if they are, adept with magic. This is where soldiers are sent to learn the way of the sword. This is where basically this is My Hero Academia, but as a country. But it's not a country. But fuck all that. Our story begins at the bottom right. In the smallest, yet the most mysterious domain in all of Elysium. The Elysium little domain of Pakar. Pakar is what's known as the Sin domain. It's so cool. But what the rest of the island says is that while everybody exports food, water, their export is pain. This is where all of what we would consider the unsalty jobs are. This area is not great. Basically like Florida. Sorry, Peso. Bounty hunters, thieves, spies, casinos, brothels, they're all here. And unlike the rest of them, where they're basically run democratically, they're basically run, in the best interest of everyone, because of the nature of their work, they are run by groups. Now, you can call them clans, you can call them guilds. In this country, or this domain rather, they're called factories. And at the moment, the most powerful factory is known as the Mark. The Mark is the bounty hunter factory. They are the most respected and have been for decades. They've run Picard pretty peacefully for a while, or as peaceful as this particular group of individuals can be. They have been... Who's inflicting wounds?
I'm just checking to make sure
I know. The reason why Picard has run so efficiently is because they are a town, or they are a factory in which they believe that anybody can, you know, achieve anything based off their own merits. And this is where we are. And not only are we going to Picard, but we find ourselves and the beginning of our story in the capital of Picard.
Right when the song ends, Poggers.
Poggers. In the capital of Picard, Langfield. Langfield is a bustling town, basically assuming, the biggest analogy I would give is think of medieval Vegas. A little dirty, well, very dirty. We come here midday, to which each of our characters find their way into any of the different entrances into the city. As they each notice that there is absolutely no police force whatsoever, but yet everybody feels fairly safe. We pan over, and as the bustling town, we head to the main gate. And the main gate, there stands a man who looks tired from a long trip. We look up, and a paladin has entered the city of Langfield. He's up here. From the side gate, a mysterious man in white enters, pushing his way through the crowd. On the opposite side of the street, a mysterious man draped in purple and black pushes his way through the crowd as well. From the south entrance, as the crowd parts, a noble warrior enters the city, to where they all converge onto the main, the building upon the top of the city of Langfield, the headquarters of the Mark, to where a man sits there waiting to see if he should approach. Each of you have the ability to move your tokens around. Make sure you can move your token around. If you can't, let me know and I'll fix it right now. Just go ahead and wiggle your token real quick.
For general knowledge to everybody that doesn't know, you can see how this is like divided into grids.
Yep.
And
your
your section locates like you occupy one square, right? Each square on any particular given map is 5 feet.
Correct.
So if there's something that mentions like distance, for example, every character has a speed. That's the amount of spaces you can move within one round, 6 seconds of combat. So, for example, if you have something that says, like, for example, my character can move 30 feet. And so if I wanted to run all the way over here, it would take me a little bit. Right. But if I wanted to run, like, down here, I can do that.
Exactly.
Hey, Tito, I can't move my character.
Let me double check.
Or I don't know how.
I just didn't want to cut Chris off.
No, you're good. Oh, that's why. Try it now, Cheek Slurper, and Aloud, you should be able to see like a arrow in the top left, like a goddamn like a select move thing, like a cursor, and just drag it over your guy and see if that works. I gave you permission to do so. You can't click and drag?
No.
I'm clicking, but when I drag, it doesn't move it.
Yeah, I'm just making like a select window.
Okay. Moments. I gave you power to be controlled. Okay. Let's save that. Try it now.
Let me try just like refreshing the page.
Yeah,
See if
try
that works.
refreshing the pages.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good now. I can move.
Okay.
Can A Loud move or?
There, you good?
Let me see.
You can also
Yep.
use the arrow keys.
Yes.
All right, bet. Yeah, you can also use the arrow keys as well.
Oh,
After you click on the token.
Yeah.
All right, so you all are coming here, and just to give you guys a little bit of setup as well, as I said, you all approach the city. You all know that it is customary for anyone who enters the city of Langfield to approach the head factory and greet yourself. And you also all know if you want to make any money at all, that's where you need to go. But you don't have to go there. I've set you up. You guys are all spread out amongst the city. You can take your time going there. This is where the for those of you who are new, where the role playing comes in. What would you think your character would do? And I'll let you guys take this moment to kind of figure that out. Let's start with Peso. Peso, would your character linger? Would he go straight where he needs to go? What are we thinking?
I'm going straight where I need to go. I'm on a time crunch here.
All right, perfect. All right, so then you can go ahead and head to where he is. It's the building all the way on the right.
Wait, where is?
To where Cheek Slipper is, because he's in front of the building. So here on the top, on the right.
Oh, okay.
Click and hold to give the little like pings to.
Actually, I should change my color. That way you guys can see. Bing.
Now, as far as me moving, do I have to roll to move?
No.
You
only in
just
combat.
walk. Yeah.
Only in combat.
Oh,
you have to do that.
So I can just walk straight to the building, or?
Sure.
You can go straight over there.
Sure.
All right, hold on. I'm strolling.
Yeah, you enjoying the city?
You
How
walking.
doing?
You walking. If you want
to,
to, you can just like click and move your token like that. Super simple.
Yeah, you don't need to go through one.
Arrow keys only really matter if you're trying to like count the spaces.
Yeah, for combat.
I know. I was actually trying to take a
How
walk.
about you, Tidux? What do you do?
What's this building here right across the way? This orange or this brown roof one?
This
With
one?
the little karma.
Oh, this one? This is kind of a restaurant of some sort. It looks kind of busy. Lots of people are in line. You're in midday. You're at the lunch hour, so it looks kind of rowdy. You're getting a lot of noise coming from it. Doesn't quite look like there are any seats available, and you can see a line coming in and out from to almost around the corner as people are ordering.
And they bussin'. See,
Yeah.
I just smelled good though, so I was just curious. All right, well if I can't eat now, I might as well just save my hunger for later, and just store it, and maybe I'll feel it later. I think I'll
Sure.
just go where I gotta go.
All right. How about you, A-Loud?
So I also see the restaurant
Mhm.
on the way over to where I need to go, and I slowly make my way through the crowd as I make my way there.
Yep.
And I'm pretty hungry too. So my idea is that with being an unknown here and having a skull mask on,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know if I can roll for intimidate so I can cut in line and get some food.
Yeah, go ahead and roll intimidation. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Slash.
Begins. So you go /roll space 1d20, and then you'll add your modifier, which for you, I believe that would be, oh, here it is. For you, your for intimidation, your would be +3.
Okay, so /roll space d20.
Place 1d20.
1d20.
11, you had to play 14. So, the line's pretty long. Like I said, it's going around the corner here. guys in the back kind of move out of the way, but there's a couple of guys in the front because you're in a pretty salty town. You're a pretty tough guy. Guys aren't usually afraid, so maybe a couple of the women and children in the back move, but the guys up front, the 4 or 5 guys up front, they're not intimidated by you all. They're not moving.
Okay. Well, since I wasn't able to get into the front to get some food, I just call it a day and head to where we need to go.
Sure. And finally, what does Thane do?
All right, so moving into the city, obviously there's this restaurant over here. Is there any sort of like general goods or smithy in the town right now?
So at the moment, that would
From
be
where I can see.
From where you can see, you can see around the head of the city as the mark their building is basically in the center of the city. It looks like it's basically a commercial area. You see some restaurants, some leather workers, but nothing really. You see a couple of people playing cards in the corner. You even look across the street at this building over here, and you can see it looks like a place to send out or to gather hide from dead animals. They skin them for armor or
like
or
a trapper.
clothing. Yeah, like a trapper, right? Exactly. But you don't see anything for like weapons. That would probably be a little bit more towards the outskirts of the town.
Right, and as I haven't been here before, like, it's general knowledge that you have to go to this
Correct.
building over here?
Correct.
All right, it's kind of like your boarding area.
Correct.
All right,
It is
so
your,
yeah,
it is your, if because of the nature of the town and it is being the capital, it is customary whenever you enter, and considering that you've been in this country in a while, it's at the southern. This town is at the southern part of the domain, so. By now, you definitely heard that. Hey, if you're going to Langfield, you definitely got to stop by this building before you do anything.
Right. Okay, so I think I'm just going to follow suit, and I'm just going to fall in with the small crowd that I see building in front of this building. And I'm actually kind of just gonna go inside.
Sure. Does anybody follow him?
I will. He
Yeah,
looks
me too.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
I'm not
really
willing to
looked
gamble. I gotta go in.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. So you all enter. Right here. Okay. You all enter.
Oh God.
It's gonna look a little bit bad because of the resolution, but it's okay. Where's my token? Where's it?
Your token, nigga. Where am I?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So, I think, how did I do this? Nope, that's not what I gotta add my library. Here we go. So, you all appear at the entrance.
Alright.
There you are. You are all at the entrance, and Chris said he was up front, and all of you followed suit. And you still have yet to speak to one another. So you guys enter the busy. It's a fairly busy, but you see a lot of pretty rough looking characters. You see a group of orcs at the yellow table over here, discussing. You see a couple of shady characters over here who are clearly, speaking about something fairly serious. You see, people scattered around, but at the center, you see what it appears to be kind of a giant round circular table with two slender women with glasses and a bunch of papers around who clearly, and you guys can immediately tell this is some sort of reception area, some sort of record-keeping area, given the fact that there's a lot of crates with papers behind them, and you see a single file line on either side, over here and over here, pulling up to each of these women as they continue to discuss. You also note, what is behind the table, because there's no pillar. There's a small pillar in the center of it, but not large enough for it to obstruct your view. There's a giant board here with names, faces, pictures, and you see a lot of people coming in and out, corralling around it. And at the top of it, in common language, it says bounty board, and you're not quite sure what that means. So, and you see that no one, you see a couple of people are looking your way as you guys are all clearly new, but nobody particularly jumps out to you at this particular moment. So, that's what it's like.
All right. So, seeing that everything, it's almost like there's these various tables that are kind of set up like just gathering areas.
Yeah, like booths.
Like for people, yeah, kind of like booths, like at a restaurant where people are like sitting down discussing stuff. Would you be saying, and would you agree with the thought that seeing, like, can we see from where we're at in the room that the bounty board has bounty board above it?
Yeah, it's a pretty large board. It's definitely high above the average person. You could see people crowding around, and people have to look up to look at it.
Right. So with that said, because of my character's background, would I know what a bounty is at the very least?
Yes. Yes,
All
you
right,
would.
so I think I'm going to approach the. Oh, we don't have the ability to control our friends.
I just gave it to you. Okay. Pause. To use the tokens and assign them to the characters, you can drag them off the name, and players should be able to control them, as the settings will say. Wait, what?
Yeah, because you imported from your library, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I did. I did assign you. Ew.
So you. Oh.
That was such a genuine reaction.
Select the token on the tabletop to use as the default token. I did. Ah, okay. Give me a second. I'll do it for all of you. You should be able to.
Learning.
I should. So, Chris. Select the token, save. Big Slurper. You select the token, save. Okay,
No,
so
not to rain on your parade. I can still not control my character.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm assigning it to you.
I can't even see my token.
It's at the bottom. You might have to scroll down.
Okay, this is a big map.
Oh, wait. Still can't move your character. Try refreshing. Actually, if I do this... Ah!
I think you fixed it. I think you found out.
Try moving these.
Nope.
Can't move.
Stupid. I've watched so many videos on how to run this. Okay. Token setting control by... I'm just gonna do this. Okay, try it now.
Yep, I got it.
Oh, I can't move mine.
I'm fixing everything.
He's setting everybody's token to
I'm just gonna set
be
it so...
movable.
Alright, everyone try to move your token?
Yep.
Okay, so? There we go. Perfect. Alright.
Oh, I can move other people's tokens.
Yeah, I
too.
know. It's fine. Yeah, I know.
It doesn't
I'll
matter.
change it
Yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah.
I'll change it later.
Yeah. It's Monopoly rules now. You move your own piece.
Yeah, everybody move
All
their
right.
own.
Don't touch my dog.
Don't touch it.
All right. So, approaching the counter, does anybody like come over?
So, are you going up? Oh, so you're approaching the counter? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you see a couple of women frantically moving around photos and and a woman catches your eye, and she sees she does that thing that secretaries do where they're like, oh, is he looking for help? Like, is he not? Is he good? Like, I don't understand what's going on.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
Right.
So seeing their confusion, I think I'm gonna pipe up and ask, or rather say, I was told to report here for work.
She looks down at her paper and looks you up and down and asks for a name.
Bane Grask.
She almost through her papers and at a speed that's kind of alarming that she can do it. Like, it's concerning. Like, you're just like, why
but
can you?
efficient? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what? Like, are you okay? She looks over and then she says, "Are you here alone?"
Yes. I shouldn't have anybody with me unless I was being followed. And just kind of look over my shoulder and see these
See these goobers?
schmucks standing
Yeah.
just right in front.
I wave.
You wave?
I glare.
You glare?
Scary.
Yeah.
Hey, Peso, roll intimidation. Roll.
Are you rolling intimidation at me?
Slash roll
What?
1d20.
Didn't say he glared.
He did glare.
Slash roll space 1d20 and then add your modifier, which should be +6.
+6.
Yeah, but just space
Don't
roll
glare.
or slash roll space 1d20.
Okay.
All right. So he glares over to Chris and catches the eye of the woman, and the woman shudders and backs up and says, "Is he with you?"
He shouldn't be. Ignore him. I have no idea who that man is. Never met him a day in my life.
Okay, well, you don't have. Well, rather, I'm looking here in my files. Do you have a license?
No form of identification on me.
Everybody who wants to work here needs a hunting license. Do you need a license?
Yes, then.
Are you part of any company?
No, I'm not.
Hold on. He turns around and looks at her. And then you start to notice something about these two individuals, that they look exactly the same. Not kind of. They look exactly the same. They are
like spitting images.
They are but it's weird because you're sensing something about it, and it's like you're not sure something is particularly off. Roll perception.
All right. So my perception is fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything seems perfectly normal to you. Everything seems you're just like
I just noticed that. Oh, they kind of look.
they kind of look they kind of look alike, and you're like, I don't know. So,
Alright,
so the same one comes back and says, "Well, we don't have any solo missions today, and you need a license. And in order to apply the license, you need to be part of a company, but there are no slots of company available to you."
Is there anything that I can join with? And looking back, counting the schmucks that are still kind of just sitting here, for 5 people.
Well,
Throughout this entire time, I'm just having a slight conversation with Tunix's character.
what are you guys talking
Call
about?
me a schmuck, please.
Yo.
We're just talking about the ridiculousness of whatever's happening in front of us.
Have you introduced yourselves to each other yet?
No.
No.
Okay. So, the lady looks up at her form and says, "Look, I don't know. I gotta ask my boss, but I really shouldn't be giving out a license to people who just come in here solo and whip like 45 different people together. I gotta ask my boss. Give me
I
1
understand.
second." So she gets on. She grabs a small bugle from underneath her, and she says, and then you look over, and the other one is the other lady at the front desk is motioning something, but you can't quite make out what it is. I need everybody to roll perception.
I'm about to fuck it up again.
Everybody to roll perception.
How do I
So
do that?
everybody in the thing just roll 1d20.
Jesus Christ.
and then add your modifier.
Oh, let me look.
Oh,
Boy.
5.
So Tanooks and Peso might
Yeah.
see some shit.
So-
but I
Plus 3 is mine.
Yeah, all right. So 19 to nukes, you're good.
I'm
So
not
then-
even paying attention.
You notice that everybody sees the woman grab the bugle, and they all start moving around and start covering their ears. And Tanooks and or not Tanooks, and it looks like hold on, I have your list. Remembering to stay in my. So you see Joe and Hisei start to like notice what they're doing, and they instinctively follow suit and cover their ears. Prism starts to cover one ear but doesn't quite make it, while Soleil and Thane don't even know at all what's happening. So the woman grabs the bugle and everyone covers the ears, and she plays out the loudest noise that you might have ever heard in your life. It's close to cannon fodder.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ. Ouch.
And to which Thane gets slightly discombobulated.
no
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Jesus. All right, hold on. Let me blow this back up. Didn't expect to have to do this. That's rolling low here.
Perfect. So you're just taken aback a little bit. You have a little bit of a headache, and you hear some ringing. But you're okay. And she turns back to you, and she looks you in the eye and says, "He'll be with you shortly." And you can
Thank
barely
you.
hear her.
Right, like, but mouthing, like, I can see
Yes.
that she's like kind of dismissed me, and I'm going to just take a step. Is there any sort of like stools or benches that I can just
Yeah.
sit down on?
Of course, there's one here. There's a couple here. Looks like all the booths are occupied, but there's a
Right.
bar also all the way in the back that some of you might see.
Well, realizing that that whatever she's signaling is probably going to be coming here, I'm gonna stay relatively close. I'm gonna go take a seat at this little stool right here.
Does anybody else want to do anything?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
prior to. Oh, go ahead, Pito.
No. After you.
I was gonna say prior to the bugle, I was having a brief conversation with shit. I'm trying to get names down again.
Prism.
With Prism, and I noticed we haven't introduced ourselves. So I was gonna introduce myself to him. Now that the sound has stopped, so I don't have to do anything crazy with that, do I?
No, you're good.
Right, so I introduced myself, but I quickly turn over to Joe, and I am curious because we were the two people who decided to cover our ears instinctively, but we also saw the gentleman glaring at us prior to all of this.
I wasn't
so
glaring at anybody.
You turned, well, not glaring, but you kept turning back and looking at us while you were talking to the woman up there, and you obviously seem a little bit shaken up by the sound that we prepared ourselves for, so I inquire with Joe and see if we should go check on this individual.
Well, I don't really like that guy, but I need to wait for the boss too. I overheard their conversation, so I think we should just go wait by him anyways.
Sounds fair.
Also, one thing to keep in mind is that, and I don't think it would necessarily apply to this. I think that that this information isn't like super like hidden. Like obviously, you guys were kind of like looking on, like as I'm like almost like talking to like the receptionist. Like
Correct.
you would be able to understand, but there are going to be certain instances where one character is like off across a room and they're talking like they're in like a low whisper to somebody, and you might be able to hear what the conversation is in call, like as Tito and whoever it is like talks about that conversation, but there's no way in hell your character would have heard it.
Okay.
Well, if you're not
thinking
sure
that,
if
like,
you
every
heard
square was
something, then
5
just
feet.
ask me and I'll say yes or no. That's
Oh,
usually
okay,
the
all
boss.
right. I was just thinking
Yeah,
about like.
I figured
like,
because we're like I need to talk to the boss. I don't have time to talk to these.
1, 2, 3. You guys are like 20 feet away, so you're fine.
Yeah, you guys are close enough. I was gonna say, like, just in the case that, you know, like, if you choose to keep standing over there and like something's going on over here, it's like, oh yeah, no, I overheard that. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
So again, if there's any questions on whether or not your character would be able to hear something, obviously refer to the DM. But use like general discretion, like just common sense, like if somebody is like, and like I said, with the squares it's really easy to tell if somebody is like 400 feet away, you're not going to be able to fucking hear what they're saying.
Right.
Okay.
So you all.
So are y'all gonna come over here, or
Well, I guess me and Tanuk start to approach you. But before me and Tanuk start making our way towards whoever this fucking guy is, I turn. Hold on, I need to list the names.
if you're on the page, if you know how in the column you can see everybody rolling stuff, at the top you can click journal and it will show you all the character names.
Okay. Kise is Tanuk's?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So before we make our way over to the man in question, I turn to Hisei and I ask, motioning to Prism, asking if his friend would like to tag along, because I had heard them having small talk, so I had assumed that they'd have some sort of relation to each other.
Can I ask, was I completely wrecked by that bugle?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You're like you're not as fucked up as Chris is, but like you were
You're
much
right
farther
there.
away. So you're good.
Okay. All right. Well, feeling like I needed to take a sec with some ringing in my ear. I nod, if it's okay with you guys to tag along.
You guys go over. Everybody go over to Chris.
Yes.
Perfect.
I'll go in.
I noticed before we leave that there's a red-haired gentleman kind of standing lonesomely as our crowd is dispersing forward. I stick back briefly to see if he would like some company.
That would be wonderful. I'd love some company.
Glorious.
Perfect.
This alliance isn't a permanent thing. I assure to my quote-unquote comrades as we walk towards this burly gentleman.
Burly.
You guys walk over, and from behind the from behind the bartender over here. Bartender guy over here. And I'll also give you guys a bigger picture of him later. Actually, I'll post it here. I'll post in the Discord.
Froggers.
There you go. He grabs 2 handfuls of drinks, and he comes over and greets you all with a hearty, "You're all new from around here." He throws these 5 drinks. He's a large man of the human variety, but he's much larger than. Oh my god, he's much larger than most humans. He's about 6'5", which is for this world very tall. Muscular bound, gray hair, with a giant mallet over his back.
It's fucking to do.
Yep. Basically. And he comes in and he says, "You are new around here, so now we drink." And he puts these 5 glasses down. What do you guys do here?
Oh, I drink alongside.
I'm
High
finna.
in the air.
Yeah, I'm finna give a nod of appreciation and grab mine. Chug it. One
I
go.
slowly reach out for mine and take a couple sips.
I'm here for work, so I'm just going to I'm going to respectfully decline and say I'd much prefer to be sober while I work, but thank you anyways.
He says, "Suit yourself." He grabs Thane's mug as well as his mug, and he raises them, and the entire bar raises with him. And he goes, "Huzzah!" as he then chugs both simultaneously like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
God, he's a demon.
He then throws them both down and says, "So where are you guys coming from? Why are you here? How can I help you?"
Honestly, I'm a little bit down on my luck for work. I heard that there was sword for hire work here, and I just need money.
Is that the case for all of you? You're all looking to make some change?
Yes, sir. The church won't let me gamble their funds anymore, so I gotta make my own money.
And I'm here for information, but I figured because I feel like from my background, my character should know what a bounty is as well.
Yes.
I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the information that comes with working as a bounty hunter, because I have some things to find out.
Interesting. And you, young man, you seem well traveled. There in the black, in the back of the table, you seem well traveled, sir.
Yes, I've traveled quite some distance, but I find myself seeking purpose. So pretty much, he's trying to find reason in his existence, and by going about bounties, even though, coin is going to be a nice prize, the thing he's more in it for is just trying to figure out what he's existing for. What is his purpose?
Well, a noble endeavor indeed. Ah! A man of the dark arts. We don't get many of you around here.
Yeah, well, I slowly take off my skull mask and just explain, I'm here for information too. My village has been coming down with an awful curse, and I really just need to find someone that could help me.
Well, a little coin never did any good. Seems you all have just never done a little good, but it never helped either. You can never have too much. Well, it seems you all are pretty tired. You've all come in recently into the town, it seems. And it seems that none of you have a license. Well, if there's anyone who knows one way to get a license, it'll be old Gray. And that's me! No, but for real though, I'm the man in charge here, and this here's my tavern. This here's my guild. And if you want to work in my guild, you're gonna need to prove yourself. But first, let me see here. Yes, you with the red hair. You'll do nicely. Come, sit with me. Sit over here. And he walks up, and he sits next to, he gets behind the counter. Or, sorry, he gets behind the table, rather, and sits right across and says, "Sit right there, young man." And he points to the stool.
Hell yeah.
And as he does that, everybody seems to gather around, and there's a huge fuss. Everyone gets up and is like, whoa, it's happening. And he looks at you, man. Well, if you would like to prove your strength, young man, I'll give all 5 of you licenses right here and now. But you have to prove your salt. Are you ready?
Of course.
Well then, let us begin. All you have to do is stay in your seat. How does that work? Does that work for you?
Sounds easy to me.
Sounds easy. All right, well then, where is she? And he looks around, and a woman who was sitting across in the yellow booth She gets up and she walks over as everyone starts to cheer, and she reluctantly accepts the cheers, but really she's just tired of this. And she walks over, says, "Do I have to?" And he says, "Well, of course, it's tradition." And he gets up and she sits down. Across, and he looks, and he comes around and puts his hand on your shoulder, and he looks you in the eye and says, "Now, are you sure?" Roll perception, please.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's the first day.
So, he sits, as he's looking up, the woman from across clean decks you in the face.
That
Clean
wasn't very nice.
decks you in the face. Make a... I didn't expect you to get a nat 1 here. Make a... Make a constitution check. Actually, no. Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Well, what is your strength mod?
0.
Oh no. He falls over flat on his back and the crowd yells, "Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah!" As you lay there, she goes, "Am I done yet?" And he helps you up. He says, "I'm sorry for that, young man. Looks like somebody forgot their manners." And so he says, "Would anybody else in your party like to partake?" And he motions to the rest of you 4.
I would.
Splendid!
That was quick.
So he gets up. So he gets up and helps, and he helps up, and he helps the man in red move over back
Yeah,
as the crowd.
Pictures.
And so go ahead, have a seat, young man. The rules are simple. Stay in your seat. On my go, Mackenzie. She rolls her eyes. He raises a glass. And he throws it on the ground and it shatters, and he says, "Go! Make a perception check." Roll a 1d20. Yep. And your perception is +3, so that's 12. So, you see her load up the same hand, the left hand. And you see her out of the corner of your eye throw it your way. But because you saw it coming, you dodge. What do you do?
That's it.
I turn to Big Boss Man and I say, "Well, I'm still in my chair. Can I get my license now?"
Ugh.
And he looks at her, or he looks at him, and he laughs. He says, "Ha ha ha! You thought I was only talking to you, young man. As you can see, she is very much also in her chair." She loads up the left hand again. She throws it your way. What do you do?
Damn, I would love to cast something. Can I cast a cantrip?
You can.
Which one?
Gust.
Make a...
I'm trying to blow her out the chair. She gone.
Make an athletics check.
How do I do that?
So just roll 1d20, and then you're gonna add 1, because I'm looking at your sheet now.
All right.
11. So you try to cast Gust to maybe knock her off her balance, and you do so. But it looks like both of you, because you also tried to dodge her punch, you're both wobbling. You're both going left. your chairs are both teetering. Both of these chairs are very old, and you could tell that both of these chairs have only been used for this
God
dumb
damn
thing
it.
that they do. So you both are teetering, and she's losing her balance, and you cast Gust. And let's see, I roll. Okay. And she almost flawlessly takes her hand and pushes it back off the floor with 2 fingers and sits back down completely straight and just looks at you, ready for what comes next. So what do you do?
Kind of annoyed that we have reached somewhat of a stalemate, as I realized to myself that I could probably sit here and cast Gust as many times as I want, and I could probably continue to dodge her very obvious hooks.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be getting anywhere. So I look over to the big burly man who had his eardrums damaged earlier, and I ask him if he'd like to be the muscle for this mission.
And you know, seeing one person get decked cleanly and drop out of their chair, and I assume that out of this group, these people that I entered this building with, you know, I'm the biggest of the bunch, right?
That is you very apparently.
All right, so I'm just going to stand up, and I'm gonna walk over and just kind of wait and see, because I expect this to go one way or another. Now, you haven't been watching me walk all the way over here, have you, Peso?
I had looked over the moment I had that thought to make the comment to you. So yes, I did watch you walk over.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I'm now just gonna like sit behind you and wait. You said one of you had to get out of your chairs, right?
I snicker and I glare again and say, hopefully it isn't you then, as I get up and let him take the seat.
All right.
Like, so another one of the orderlies, one of the waitresses, comes over, brings the woman another drink, and she knocks it back, and almost out of defiance, rebellion, she tosses it over her shoulder nonchalantly, as if to say she really doesn't want to do this. And she just waits with her face on her fist, leaning on the table for you to sit down.
All right. And as I go to sit down, like looking at her, like it's very clear that we kind of like see each other, right?
Yes.
All right. So I am going to channel divinity and use dreadful aspect
Sure.
on her. So she has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
With a DC of 14.
Roll. Or it's GM. 1, 2.
Well, she makes it.
Yeah.
All right, and
She
like
got
I
a 3.
oh, she got a 3.
Yep. Well, technically she got a 5.
She got a wait. She has a plus 12 to wisdom.
No, she rolled a 3. Oh, you're. Wait, what am I rolling? What'd you want me
No,
to...
I was looking at the chat because the last thing I see is you rolling a 17.
Oh, right.
Okay, so she rolled a 3, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I rolled to GM, so you won't see that.
Oh, you're rolling to yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
so like with that, she's now frightened from me, and now with that, frightened normally means that she doesn't want to get near me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to sit down and just kind of like cross my ankles over each other.
Would you
just kinda
consider
sit
this
there.
aura akin to when Gon is sitting there in front of that cat girl for like 3 episodes? You remember that?
Yeah, but it's only her because I wanted to do it to only the person that's trying.
Yeah, that's
to hit
fine.
me.
That's fine. So she looks at you, and she is shooken to her very core, but she definitely does a fantastic job at showing it. And so what she does is she takes her foot and she kicks it back off the table, and she kind of does like a backflip over the back of the chair and lands on her feet, and then looks at the man and says, "I'm done with this," and she just walks away. To which everyone just kind of watches her walk away, and then walk out.
She became wide.
She became wide as fuck, and she just walks out into the back office. He then looks at you and says, "Well, I'm a man of my word. Go see the young lady at the reception office, and she'll get you all squared away. Once you all are done there, I'll meet you at the board. I have something special in mind for you five." Gets up and tells the crowd to disperse. "Move it! Move it, idiots!" And he just he pushes his way back to the bar. And awaits for you there.
I'm gonna get up out of the chair and kind of move back towards the group. And well, it seems that now we're traveling together, so I guess it would be best to be a little bit amicable towards one another.
I cut Chris off. Listen, buddy, I'm gonna go get some more drinks. I'll see you later. And I walk over to the bar.
All right. So with him out of the way, if he doesn't intend on getting his license, that's beyond me anyways. But with that said, and I'm gonna extend my hand just out towards the center of you three, like just kind of like right here, and just say, "My name is Stain. Pleasure to make your acquaintance."
I immediately reach in for a handshake, and I keenly say, "The leaf on the breeze is but a drop of rain in the ocean of the soul."
Quite. You are?
Shit. I define the balance between using the voice and the
You'll get
describing.
there.
It's so tough. My name is Hisei. I'm here to find purpose, but I noticed that you have quite a menacing presence. Yet I feel there is a side of you that holds a gentleness I can trust.
I hope we can come to trust. And looking back over towards the man in white that just walked towards the bar, I hope we can come to trust everyone. But thank you. Me as well. And your friends?
I introduce myself. Hello. It's a pleasure to meet both of you. My name is Prism.
Nice to meet you.
And I extend my hand out to the man in red hair. And you are?
My name's Saleh, of the Bahamut sect. I kind of like... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But, pat, what's Chris's character? Pat Thane on the shoulder and said, thanks for, bailing me out back there. I'm more built for, shooting wounded enemies with their backs turned for me from a distance than, taking punches.
And I get in by asking, how are you, by the way? You took quite a hit there.
I'm good. All in due time. All good things have to come around, you know, we just had a bad luck day today.
And now that it seems that we're done introducing, I'm gonna kind of like motion towards the counter again, and just kind of make my way over there.
Well, and the girl comes back. All right, well, seems that everything's going in order. I can't believe you got it, but sure. I've already prepped your paperwork. All you're gonna need to do is make sure that everybody in your party, all 5 of you, keep this on you at all times. Okay? If you have any questions about it, you're good. At some point, you're gonna have to come up with a name for your group, but I don't really care what it is or at the moment, so I wouldn't worry about it right now. She hands you 5 cards. They're wood. They are small. They're akin to maybe the size of an index card, but they're solid wood, and they're good wood. It's good, like some sort of like a maple wood or something pretty sturdy. And it engraved and carved onto the top, it says the mark, and then on the back it says whoever holds this card is an official member of the mark and has access to hereby privileges thereof. So it's kind of like a membership card, and there's a place for your name, and you guys can. She assures you that you guys can do that at a later time. Now take your cards and go back and see the boss. His name's Gray. He always forgets to introduce himself, but we all call him Gray. He's a lot younger than you think, but you know, there's Gray. So just go back there and try not to die. Thank you. Next. And she completely...
I'm sorry, did you say try...
and she looks back at the next guy, and he just kind of pushes his way around you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to ask the boss some questions.
Sure. What can I get you, young man?
I'll take whatever you served us up before, but I'm also gonna ask you for some information.
Well, the first thing you need to learn about Langfield, young man, is that nothing is free. Before I tell you anything, well, it looks like your partner's going over there, and he looks across the table, and looks behind Joe and says, "Oh, looks like your new friends are filling out the necessary paperwork. Well, maybe I have a time for a question or two. What can I do you for?"
I need to know everything you know about the airplanes.
He pours the cup. Well, there's a lot we don't know. He puts the mug in front of you. There's one thing everyone should know, young man, is that, well, anybody who has half a mind will stay away from there. There's death on that side of the world. Why we all live here.
Well, there's death on my side of the world as well. And the only possible ingredients for a cure seem to only exist in that mysterious wasteland. I thought maybe by coming here and finding the boss, I could get some more understanding and learn how to prepare myself for such a journey, if I had to take it.
Well, looky here. I know a couple of people who've been there. Heck, I know a couple of people who, I know much more who never made it back. But I'll tell you what. You do good work for me, I'll tell you everything I know. Fair?
I put down my glass and extend my hand to him and say, fair.
And he shakes your hand almost too tight, because remember, he's like 6'10", or whatever the fuck he is. And he comes from around the bar and he says, "Come here, I would like to show you something." And he comes around, and in front of the bar it'll be like here, because the bar there's no chairs here, well, except like a couple stools, like in the middle of the room. And he motions you, and he also sees, because he's taller than everybody, he sees the group walk towards, and he motions the group to come over to the board.
And as we're kind of making our way over, like as they're talking, I'm gonna hand these three their license.
Sure.
And I'll pocket the fifth one, or the fifth and fourth one for right now. And I'm gonna kind of make my way, as I assume we all would be, over to Big Boss Gray. I don't know why Tanooks went the other way around, but that's what's up.
Trying to get a good, just look around.
Just look around.
One does not just drink ale; they drink in their surroundings as well.
That's a bar. Hold on.
Bars.
That's a bar. Who's got bar?
Yeah, I hear Tanuk's mumbling that to himself because he approaches the side that I was standing on, and I turn to him and say, "Damn, that was bars."
All right, cool. All right, bet. I'll write in the journal that Tanuk's character he say also has bars. Tanux has bars. He's barring. He's barring.
Oh, God. I have no idea who you are, and I have yet to introduce myself to any of you. But damn, that was pretty fire. Right there.
So he motions to the giant bar. Look at this bar. It was crazy. He motions. He extends his hands out to the board, and said, "This is the bounty board. This is where all money is made. This is where dreams are achieved. This is also where lots of lives end because their face appears on this board. Now I tell you, my new friends, this. You always want to work from this board. You never want to be on it. But, since you're new, we'll start you with something easy. And it's not up here." He takes out a piece of paper. He says, "I haven't posted this yet because no one wants to do this. Not because it's dangerous, but because nobody likes this guy." And he hands the man in white, Joe, the piece of paper, and it has a picture on it, / painting, which I will post in here. This right here, this is Kelhick, and I'll also show chat.
Yo, he got the bling.
This is Kelhick.
I take a gander of the painting and I already feel disgusted.
Yeah, no, I visibly gag upon
just
looking
keep a
at
smile on my
his
face.
features.
I'm always positive.
This is Kelhick. He's our what we call our contact. He's the guy who's in charge of making sure everybody gets paid. He's in charge of making sure that everybody gets what they need, all the information. He's a surveyor of information. He's also annoying as a all get out, but we need him. He is the lifeblood of this place. And he's caught behind some bureaucracy. You know what I mean. No one wants to go get this guy, but I need him. So, here's what you five will do. He's actually behind, and he pulls out the map from earlier, which I will post in here for you guys, so you guys can have it and save it. He's right outside the border of Picard, right in Venari. Right in that little corner on the coast. There's a village there. Should only take you about a day or so to get there, if you guys leave tonight. If you leave tomorrow, there's a big storm coming. But after the storm, it'll probably be easier. But if you leave tonight, and I know you all are tired, you'll be there and back in, I would say 2 days. I need someone to go, get him, bring him back. You do that for me, I'll make sure you guys get some real paying jobs as a favor to me. Now, keep in mind, I can't pay you for this. At least not right now. But I promise you, you do this solid for me and I'll never forget it. My word is law, and he pounds his chest.
I quaintly fold the paper up and kind of just tuck it under my arm. And I say, sleep is for the dead. I shall make preparations for us to leave at once.
Fabulous! Well, what we'll do is that all you gotta... So, while Kelhick is currently indisposed, my little sister Mackenzie will be giving you guys all the information you need about the area, as well as how to get there. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I have to make sure that the whole thing is prepared because we're having a giant event here tonight. And he puts his hand on Thane's shoulders and goes, "It's trivia night." And he just looks at you and does not blink and just smiles because he's very excited.
I'm not very smart or knowledgeable. What exactly does that mean?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, and he turns around and calls Mackenzie over, And she comes out. And she looks at him. And she goes, "What do you want?" He says, "Get them all set up. They're gonna go get Kelhick." And she just looks at them five and says, "Okay." So he says, "I'll see you guys in a few days." And he nods and he walks away and he walks back to the bar to clean up and make preparations for trivia night. So then she stands in front and says, she pulls out a map and she shows you guys the path in which you will take. Says, "Well, there's two paths here. Well, there's this path here that's a forest path. Now, this forest path is usually full of bandits. We can't really control them. We want to, but we just don't have the manpower to do so. But it is the shortest route. Then you have this plains path over here, which is pretty much wide open, but it takes probably another half to 3/4 day. So it's really up to you which one you want to take. Kelhick will be there either way. He's just caught up in some bureaucracy." She hands Joe a piece of paper with a seal on it, and it's wrapped up in some fancy leather. It says, "Just give that to the people who are holding him up, and he'll be out of there in no time. Don't open it. You understand?"
Yes.
Good.
I nod.
Good. Perfect. You guys are free to go ahead and use any of our facilities. You go ahead and you get access to all, being that you are now members of the Mark, you guys get access to all of our shops, everything like that are around town that only serve us, as well as the restaurant across the street. If you flash your card, you'll be let right in. But again, getting kind of late. I'm assuming you guys want to head out. So just go ahead, and there are some horses out front that we arranged for a couple of people, but they didn't show up. So you guys want to take some horses. There's also a carriage. Doesn't really matter how you guys get there. So whichever you guys want to do is out front. Just talk to the dude out front, and he'll get you all squared away. Any questions?
Is there a smith in town?
Yeah, he's on the other side of town. I don't. And she looks at the clock and sees and squints at it. He says, "I don't know if he's in yet, or I don't know if he's in anymore. It is getting kind of late. Let's see. He might actually be. Oh!" And she points to the red table, and sees a man. And she points to a man, a dwarf, with a mug in his hand, drooling and clearly drunk out of his mind. She says, "There he is."
Right. Well, I suppose I should see him tomorrow then, but thank you.
Sure. Now just know this is the last thing. You guys need to go and come back together. You guys are also serving as his bodyguards. Although we all find him annoying, lots of other factors in the area are going to want his skills. So you might get ambushed, but probably not, because nobody knows that he's gone. So, just make sure you guys are together. Just make sure nothing happens to him. Or, let's put it this way, just make sure he comes back mostly alive. Okay?
Okay.
Sure thing.
Fantastic. And that's the #1 rule, by the way, that Gray forgot to tell you. We're bounty hunters, not assassins. We don't kill unless we have to, and we never, ever, ever, and she points at Thane, kill the target. Because then we don't get paid. Understand?
I don't think you would have to worry about that with me.
We'll see. She turns around and she waves. All right. Well, you guys better get going if you guys want to get on the road before sunfall. And so she walks back and says, "When you guys come back, just make sure to drop them off here, and we'll square away whatever compensation you guys get. Have fun!" And she waves and she waves as she walks back into her office.
All right. Now that Joe is kind of like taking the forefront of like all of the information and like I don't want to say pamphlets, but like the bounty, the actual paper bounty, and you know the letter that's supposed to be for What would you say his name was?
Kelhick.
Kelhick. I was about to call him Cowlick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We're definitely gonna call him Cowlick.
You're gonna get that vibe.
But with that, I'm going to reach into my pocket and grab the extra license and extend it, and just kind of, while I'm holding on to it firm, just kind of say, "It seems that we're under your order now, Mister."
Joe.
And I'll hand off the license, and thank you. My name is Thane. I don't suppose that we'll be taking any rest tonight. You seem very agitated.
Time is of the essence, so to speak. I'd like to get this mission underway as soon as possible, but what exactly do you need to see the smith for?
I was just looking to potentially get a more sturdy set of armor. Moving into this line of work, I don't imagine that being too safe is too much of a concern.
See, but time is of concern for me. And if we wait till morning for you to visit the smith, who knows when we'll be able to set foot and actually complete this mission.
Well, like I said, it's no major concern to me. I can take a beating more than most. And kind of turn and just give a little, like, knowing glance over to Saley.
I appreciate that, because I cannot take more hits than most.
But right then, Joe, on your mark. Hey,
right.
get it? It's like the thing.
Get it? I
It's
get
like
it.
Oh, he said that. He said it.
He said
Because
the
I
thing.
said the thing, and
Is that when it cuts to the fucking title card?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's like invincible on your, and then it just cuts.
Jesus Christ. So I will give you guys, you guys can continue to do this, but I will also say, as the DM talking, as I will give you the option, as I do with most of my campaigns, the option for fast travel.
Oh, God.
So I will allow you to, you guys can either play out travel sequences. Your XP will be the same because I do story-driven level up, not battle EXP. Too much work. So I can either just put you guys in where you guys need to go to progress the story and keep going, or you guys can go through the travel. You guys want to do some role playing or whatever. Not to say that there will be combat. Sometimes there will be, sometimes there won't be, but I'll give you guys that option to do that. So you guys let me know. You guys can decide as a group.
As I'm kind of like just trying to get this, like, essentially this test over with, so we can actually start working, or rather, I can start working. I'm probably just going to do whatever it is that Joe wants to do. So any vote that the character Joe has, I'm kind of gonna double.
While I am very motivated, I want to make sure everybody in my party has what they need before we disembark, because a bad team makes bad results. So if anybody needs to visit any shops or get any sort of errands done before we leave, I mean, we have like a couple hours before sunfall, so it's really up to the crew. I mean, like, I want to leave tonight, but as long as everybody is prepared, like, I don't mind waiting a couple hours, get a couple more drinks.
Tito, is there any form of like running? Well, I don't know about like running water, but is there like a well or like a source of water in this building?
Well, yep. There is all the sources, all the beverages, because of the nature of this place. They're all behind the bar. So the well, water is taken out back, things like that. Yeah, and they're in barrels as well around the place, but they usually are near the bar and kitchen for that way they don't get stolen or broken.
Okay.
Is there anywhere I can get an ice pack?
You can You can ask. You know, either Joe or the receptionist ladies, whichever one.
Okay, I'm gonna, you know, slink my way over here to get an ice pack because my face kind of hurts.
She looks at you and she says, "What do you need?"
Can I have an ice pack, please? My face hurts.
Ice pack, honey. All right. Let's see what we got here. She goes in her bag. She throws out a bunch of shit. She's like throwing out like like she's pulled out a whole broom from her bag. She's just like, it's crazy. Make a perception. Make an Arcana check.
Arcana check. Holy shit.
So you immediately recognize it as a bag of holding, and as she's pulling out a bunch of shit, she's like digging her hand in there. She's like, and she finally pulls out this giant, giant's not the right word, but this large, just block of ice that looks like it was used, you know, to quell an ocean. It's just like you need to hold it with both hands. And she takes it, and then she looks over and she looks at you, and she knows you can't use that. She then strikes it with one hand, and splits it into a piece that you can use. And then she tosses it at you, and then throws it back in her bag.
So I just have a big dumb smile on my face because that's my kind of character. But I say thanks, and I'm gonna waddle my way back on over here.
I snicker at the entire situation that just occurred, and I whisper over to Saleh, you know, I could have just cure wounds you.
Oh, this is more fun though. I whisper back.
All right.
So, are you guys going to what do you guys want to do? You guys want to go to on horses? Like, how do you guys want to travel?
I'd say horses are the most efficient.
Horseman.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm cool now.
I
Sure
agree that
thing.
horses are faster.
Sure. So as Mackenzie said, the stables are outside. There's a guy out there who can assist you. And I will put you guys. I'm assuming you all are leaving the tavern now.